certain spots as well.
The enemy is Maggie Normile, who's playing Jeskai Aggro, a pretty popular deck this weekend as well. Tom Ross, Harlan Fear playing that deck. We've got Soulfire Grandmasters, Mantis Riders, Goblin Rabble Masters, all of that good stuff here. Soulfire Grandmaster looks like it's coming in the red zone. We are in game number 3 of this matchup. Looks like a Dramoka's command is being cast by Richardson too. An Erishan Cleric on Richardson's side. A couple of lands here for both players. Normile going to play a Temple. That top card going to go to the bottom. We'll see if there's a good follow-up here from Maggie.
Jeskai Charm in hand right now. Not really something you want to be doing on the Cleric. Cleric does not seem like the best suited card for this kind of matchup. It's probably okay.
Yeah, more of a card for your mono red decks in the world.
Yeah, Maggie can fly over the top of this threat.
Here's Stoke the Flames to clear that out of the way. So, hey, the Cleric bought a Stoke.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great exchange for Todd.
Soulfire Grandmaster, of course, will allow Normile to gain 4 life. Given the Stoke has lifelink, and attack here for 2 from the Grandmaster will knock Richardson down a little bit lower to 13. Let's see what Richardson has on this particular turn. Siege Rhino, of course, one of the best cards from Abzan against Jeskai. We've seen that dynamic so much, but Jeskai did get new tools in Roast and Valor stance to take care of the Rhino. For now, it's Courser.
Now, there is some risk with this play. Maggie here with 5 lands in play, and so something like a land and a rebought Valorous stance, for example, pretty dangerous for Todd. Could have cast Hero's Downfall that turn, wants to save it for something a little bit more threatening.
Temple of Silence going to leave a Den Protector on top. Richardson going to pass the turn back over to Normile. It's a Flooded Strand.
And Todd, not thrilled about seeing land number 6 there, as this opens up a lot of the lines of play we discussed.
And there's a lot of scary things that can happen. Or Lightning Strike with buyback, for lack of a better name for the ability on Soulfire Grandmaster. You got Valorous Stance too, depending on how many cards are in the graveyard. Here's a Jeskai Charm. Looks like that's going to place Courser back on top of the deck. Clear the way for the Grandmaster.
Not a bad spot for Maggie to play that with the Den Protector on top. She knows that Todd is just not going to flip over a land for free. And Todd, awkwardly enough, 4 different 3-mana spells in hands and 5 lands. So he's just got to pick 1 spell a turn. His efficiency here, not great.
And knowing that the top card is Den Protector, I mean, redeploying Courser is fine, but you just know that you're not going to get anywhere doing it.
Right.
Normile going to sacrifice a Flooded Strand here. There's an island.
It's be a great spot for dig through time.
Does not appear to be the case here for Normile, however. So she will untap and take a draw step. Soulfire Grandmaster looking to get a lot of work done here. Ojai's Command, rather popular this weekend too.
Yep.
I suppose that is a really good card against Devotion if you can get ahead on the board a little bit and then cast that.
Really powerful with Soulfire Grandmaster too. You can set up a lock against certain decks, and it's also a powerful creature to get back in instant speed for a variety of reasons.
Temple of Epiphany put the top card to the bottom.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 15 minutes remaining to sign up for today's standard challenge.
Looks like Normile has nothing left to do this turn, however. You see Den Protector the draw, Hero's Downfall on top of the deck, so still a real bottleneck as far as mana is concerned.
Yep.
5K from your IQ tomorrow. You can pre-register now at the stage.
So dangerous now. If Todd goes for a kill spell and Maggie has a way to negate it or counter it and loop with Soulfire Grandmaster, Todd starts to get really far behind in the game.
Todd's actually going to be pretty careful with the spell. Whatever it is. It's going to go with a Morph. Looks like that's going to resolve. There's so many things that could go wrong here for him.
Yep.
Doesn't look like Maggie has much action, however, right now. Here comes the Grandmaster. A pretty quick block. Yeah, so they appear to be trading, but that course is a little better than that. Maybe Todd is expecting it to die.
Perhaps this is an end hostilities.
Okay. Den Protector's the morph, so it's going to get to rebuy something. Perhaps with Dromoka's Command, there's also an Obzon Charm down there. It looks like Dromoka's Command is the weapon of choice to return with the Den Protector.
If I'm Todd, all I want is a 2-mana spell. I don't even mind him taking the Cleric there, but make sure you can cast 2 spells next turn.
Because the bottleneck has been so bad, you know you're drawing Hero's Downfall.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the Cleric is pretty low impact with Maggie at 32, so I don't mind getting back Dromoka's Command instead, but I'm definitely not touching a 3-mana spell.
Wingmate Rock is the reveal from the Courser. Richardson has to pass the turn back yet again. See if Normile can find some way to start actually trying to put a close in this game. Mantis Rider, there are 4 copies of. Dig Through Time would be nice. There are 3 copies of that. There's even a Sarkin the Dragon Speaker in there. It could get 1 hit in, even though you know your opponent does have a copy of Hero's Downfall.
Yeah, Maggie really needs the sources of card advantage at this point because Todd has a lot, way more spells in hand right now than Maggie does and can answer a lot of the threats that Maggie puts on the table because he's got Dromoka's Command and Hero's Downfall. So I think the real prizes for Maggie at this spot are additional copies of End Hostilities. Something like Dig Through Time would be great.
Jeskai Charm going to put Courser back on top. That'll just be Richardson's play again. We may have to reveal pass the turn back. There's Sarkin.
If you have finished your match, please make sure that your match slip is completely filled out. Then bring that match
Sarkin's very solid in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, it really just kind of forces the hand of Richardson to probably Hero's Downfall next turn.
Yeah, there's a good chance it just devours Todd's entire turn, and you get to kill the Courser for your trouble. I suppose you could knock Todd down to 8. I feel like the pacing of this game is such that it's going to go on for a pretty long time. I would be inclined just to kill the Courser, but attacking is not a horrible play either. I think with Wingmate Rock on top of the deck, unless you have some other way to kill the Courser, you sort of have to take the Courser out.
And that's what it feels like. You have to take the Courser out so raid doesn't happen, and then the following turn, the Hero's Downfall takes care of the Sarkin, but then that's the entire turn.
Yep.
Given the mana bottleneck. Wingmate Rock is the draw. Courser did bite the dust from Sarkin.
I suppose Todd, in theory, could have used the Dromoka's Command in that spot to give his creature +1/+1.
Mana was bottlenecked. He has 2 Temple of Silences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes, he's only got the 2 green sources.
Yeah. His mana has been an issue the entire time we've been watching him. Unfortunately for him. Flooded Strand going to get sacrificed here. There's a Plains. Is it perhaps time to dig? It looks like it is. Here is Dig Through Time.
And this, to me, is the card that Maggie really needed.
Yep.
She's gotten Todd kind of low here, and Todd has been inefficient on these turns as a consequence of his both quantity and color breakdowns of mana. But eventually, he's going to deploy these cards, and eventually, they're going to be good enough.
I'm looking for Mantis Riders here. If I could find 2 Mantis Riders, I'd be so happy.
That's the dream right here. A lot of really good cards at this stage. Ojutai's Command's really good.
Yep. Discard the sideboard like Narset Transcendent. There are 2 of those. Keranos God of the Storms is in the sideboard. It's unclear if that's in the deck for this 3rd game.
It's this weird spot where there's actually 2 classes of cards that are good for Maggie right now. Something that allows her to close out the game really quickly is good because Todd's stumbling. Also, sources of card advantage are not bad either. So she can kind of go 2 routes.
She's made her selection. Soulfire Grandmaster is the play. And pass the turn back over to Richardson. It's turn 1 of turns.
So worst case scenario in this spot, Maggie gets a draw.
Todd
can't win with Maggie at 31.
But can Maggie find a way to win with Todd at 12? Of course, her crew fix is where Todd's going to start.
Yeah, that to me is a pretty dangerous play. I think that I would have just preferred Hero's Downfall, because if Maggie has Ojutai's command,
that's horrible news.
Yeah, it gives her a shot at being able to win inside of turns.
Yeah, counter spell return by Soulfire Grandmaster. Get to work. Now we go to turn 2. Eight mana here for Normile. Soulfire Grandmaster ready, so you know any loops to be had. Yeah, there's gonna be an activation here. See what the spell's gonna be. Stoke the Flames. That'll take care of Korsha. That's gonna come back. 4 life gonna be gained.
Another spot where Tremoka's command would have been awesome.
Yep.
But Todd, again, only on the 2 green sources of mana at the time, had to leave up temples.
Attack for 2 is gonna bring Richardson down to 11. The tough thing here for Normile is she's only gonna get 1 turn to get it done.
Yeah.
Because turn number 3 of extra turns is gonna go to Richardson. Deathmist Raptor the play. There's a Windswept Teeth. Turn number 4. There's a land. Just doesn't seem like there's enough turns here for Maggie to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, we're approaching, she might have been able to get this done, I think, with another turn. She has Jeskai Charm in hand, which could have been looped in this spot alongside the Stoke the Flames, but I don't think she can get it done this turn.
Might need a turn 6.
Right. I think on turn 6 she might have the tools to win this game, but I don't think she's got it on turn 4.
Also, that Tremoka's command kind of gums things up a little bit too.
Yeah. It's still an opportunity to at least get one of the spells back, but again. I think we're going to be seeing a draw here momentarily.
Here's a Hero's Downfall. Stoke the Flame is going to be cast. A draw in a tournament like this, almost as good as... Is it the same as a loss like it was at the Grand Prix last weekend?
For the purposes of making day 2, I think that's the most likely scenario.
Okay.
But it's a long tournament. Both these players still have some cushion too as well.
That's true.
So a draw is not as bad as a loss. I mean, it is for the purposes of making day 2, but it's not the end of the world for these players.
So Jeskai Charm get cast as well, 45-3, turn number 5. Get that last hit in, Todd. There you go. It's a draw here between Maggie Normile and Todd Richardson. Jeskai Aggro and Abzan Megamorph. They can't get it done in time, unfortunately. So both these players will be 4-1-1 here in Indianapolis.
No real big story to pull from all this, as we didn't really get to see any of the games conclude, other than, man, there is just a lot of Jeskai aggro and a lot of Jeskai mid-range in the tournament.
Way more than expected.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big resurgence for this deck after being off of the radar here for quite a while on the Open Series.